Good morning and welcome, Patriot Radio News Hour. Joe and Jason on this Wednesday, and I hope it finds you well out there. Our toll-free number. I don't know what you guys are thinking. I hope that you're just moving things around to get ready to become the most diversified you have ever been. Our toll-free number, 800-951-0592. The website at allamericangold.com. And as usual, what a 24 hours it's been. Right? Elon Musk unloads on the big, beautiful bill. Donald Trump attacking any Republican that says that they can't support the bill, right? And again, guys, listen. I get it. I get all the comments. I get where, and I don't know if Elon Musk is saying this because, well, maybe now people will start buying Teslas again. I don't know. I'm not... Whatever his motivation is, he's not wrong. Rand Paul's not wrong. Donald Trump's not wrong. There's no good option. How much is it going to cost? And this is the problem. On top of that, Donald Trump unhappy with Xi Jinping in China and the negotiations. And how difficult he says China is being. Well, and again, Donald likes to talk about leverage, right? Well, this is a case. China's got leverage. We've got leverage, right? There's leverage on both sides. It makes it a little more common. Now, you can argue about who's got more leverage, but there's leverage on all sides, and then of course, it is the first of the week of the month. It is jobs week this week. We got ADP private sector jobs, and it was a miss. Only 37,000 jobs created. That was a May number. Well below any expectation. I was shockingly low. Let's just say that. It was shockingly low, especially when you think about what May signifies. That's when everyone graduates, right? Colleges, right? All the colleges, you graduate in May, right? If you know, I have a son that graduated, by the way, way up there, right? The summa cum laude, whatever, blah, 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 nonsense. Jobs are hard to find. Yesterday, Jolt said, oh, hey, look a lot of people are posting for jobs. It's true. They're just not hiring, right? Right? We're going to post, but, because that's what we do, right? What does HR do? Well, we post for jobs. Right? Unfortunately, are you hiring anyone? Not really. We're resume collecting just in case the bosses say, hey, okay, now we're going to hire some people. I don't know. We'll see. It wasn't a very good number last month. We thought there'd be a rebound this month. Was no. Matter of fact, it got worse, which sent Donald Trump into a tirade against Jerome Powell again today. Then we got some what we call soft data. That's called survey data. And it was really bad. Of course, we got gold. Get ready. I keep telling you. This thing has legs, and I think a lot more leg than people think. Things are changing and changing very quickly. The Treasury, Scott Bassett, up to, and I get what they're doing. They are now buying $10 billion of these auctions to try to keep some form of liquidity. There's a big problem brewing. Remember, what was it, last week? The Fed very quietly bought just shy of $50 billion. Didn't say a word. Now all of a sudden the Treasury, because, they got to put out their financials. It's one of the things they got to do. Oh, well, we've been buying some of this stuff too. How bad is the problem going to be? We're going to talk about that. When is quantitative easing coming? Oh, it's coming. We're going to give you an update on that. How high is gold and silver going to be when that occurs? And what that really means. And again, it all goes hand in hand, doesn't it? Hey, if we're going to spend a lot more money, we already know that we don't have enough people to buy. Which means we've got to start buying it ourselves, which of course signifies what? That the dollar, it continues to weaken, right? And the amount of people that are willing to hold it continues to decline. To the fact now, remember, yesterday, the World Gold Council, gold needs to be classified as the best asset of Tier 1. We'll be back after the break. 800-951-0592. Joe and Jason on this Wednesday. Quick look at the markets here. The Dow is up 70. The S&P's up 17. The Nasdaq's up 70 as well. NVIDIA saying, hey, we got $1 trillion worth of orders over the next however many years, giving some relief. The 10-year note down at 440. Oh, that's better, mostly because the news was well below what was expected. Crude oil, thought it would be down a lot more. It is not. Pretty flat here, right around $63.50. People kind of saying that maybe Saudi Arabia is thinking, hey, this isn't working. We agreed to supply more oil, and, well, the price has fallen too low. We'll see. I don't know, but it's interesting. Gold, back up. Here we go. 33.75 right now, up $23. And again, I'm going to say it to you again. Look out for 3,400. All the computers going to be buying here. Are we going to see new record high gold prices? Yes. How fast? A lot faster than people think. Where is, again, we talked 4,000, 4,500. Yesterday, I forget, was it Goldman? I can't remember who it was. One of the big guys out there talking about, hey, don't be surprised to see 7,000 gold in 2 years. And based on what I'm seeing, don't be surprised. So, silver, right here, 34.40. Right, silver is, and again, we know we've been waiting on $35 here. The silver squeeze, if you will, is on. I like the pattern that it's forming. We'll see how this goes. First, let's start, I guess, with Elon Musk yesterday taking to X, talking about the amount of spending, calling it a disgusting abomination. I mean, those are,
The Theodore Roosevelt words. Remember the
the
atrocious hideousness of our old coins, right?
Yes, this massive, outrageous, pork-filled congressional spending bill is a disgusting abomination. Shame on those who voted for it. You know you did wrong. You know it. Okay? And again, he's not wrong. The problem is, it's simple, guys. What do we want? Right? Do we want to really rein in spending? Do we? I mean, Doge sounded great, right? Oh my gosh, right? We're all excited. Remember, they were talking about $2 trillion. And then they said, okay, all right, we were just making some headlines, but we'll do $1 trillion. Remember what I told you? Do you remember? I told you they would be lucky to get $200 billion, and they didn't. I don't even know if they're going to get, they're trying to say 160. I don't even know if that's really going to happen. And most of that will be from firings. Right? Remember the big Social Security scandal? That was a big nothing burger, as I told you. I mean, the government's not that efficient, but they're not that inefficient, right? I mean, is there fraud? Sure. I mean, let's face it. The government spends $7 trillion. There's going to be some fraud, right? There's always some, but it's so minute. And I know that's upsetting for some people because they want it to be. God, believe me, I wanted it to be fraud. I did. That would have been great. How great would that have been? Just didn't happen. And now we're stuck. Right? Elon Musk, hey, this is dumb. Yep, it is. But what's our alternative? Not spend? Well, not spend. They could do that. It'd be pretty simple what will happen. Right? The economy gets wrecked. Donald Trump knows. He knows. Why do you think why is he going so hard at Rand Paul? Because he knows. Listen, we only got one bad choice that we can make. And I'm going to opt for, let's just say we're going to grow. They know they're not growing out of it, Jason. They know that. But what's their alternative, right? What's the alternative? And now I guess Elon Musk can do the I told you so after the fact. But everybody knows what's coming. It is going to be an avalanche of debt. It is going to be the destruction of the dollar. You are going to see gold prices do things. Now, I was a little kid when gold went from $42 to $800 in the 70s. I was a kid. I don't really remember anything about gold ever, right? Not what I was doing. I was running around using my finger as a gun, right? Taking a stick and using it as a gun. That's what I was doing. Gold is going to do this again. The difference is instead of starting at $42, it started at like $2,000. It's going to do something I think most people aren't prepared for. But Jason, again, this new money's coming. It's very simple. There's a reason why yesterday the World Gold Council said, wait a minute, we were wrong, our bad. Gold needs to be a highly liquid tier 1 asset because, we've done all these studies and they all showed it to be true. But now we finally believe it. Gold outperforms bonds. gold outperforms cash, and those are the other tier one, high liquid tier one assets. So essentially what they said yesterday, Jason, is gold is the best tier one asset anybody can hold. And when you think about, man, that makes a lot of sense, because what are we seeing? All these central banks and sovereign wealth funds. Now, why are you seeing countries now tell their insurance companies, hey, you guys should hold gold because it's actually better than holding bonds, is what insurance companies do.
And there's citizens of other countries that seem to understand this better than the listening audience of here in America. The Chinese, last I saw, Joe, they're still standing in long lines in China to buy whatever gold is available when it is available. You know, there are some gold shops in China that just shut down. They can't keep it coming in. There's only so much to go around, right, Joe? So if they're standing in hours-long lines, multiple hours-long lines to buy it in China, I think their citizens probably figured out that we better hold some value here because it looks ugly. And it's not just America. It's going to be ugly. All these debt economies across the world are all interconnected. So it's let's watch it. You know, it's been a while since we talked about it. Remember all the Evergrande, all the property companies in China that were failing? Is kind of like a cat turd that they've been trying to bury for the last few years. You know, China trying to hide how bad it really is there, right, Joe? And then suddenly people are in multiple hours-long lines buying gold after that. It seems like forever ago, doesn't it, Joe? They were talking about all the property problems they were having in China, right? Knocking down completed buildings they were never going to sell the space to, all that stuff. It takes some time for all that to weed its way into the system. And what does that turn into? It turns into hours-long lines to buy gold because all your other assets aren't performing because economic catastrophe is headed your way. And Joe, you know, China's a big economy. It's they hold a lot of our debt, right, Joe? It doesn't matter that they're trying to sell it off. They hold a lot of our debt, and this is contagion. We're seeing it happen. Joe says the dollar's going to suffer because they need to shove these treasuries somewhere, and they're desperately trying to make up places to shove it. Let's put it in stable coins, and let's let the banks print up all the money they want to print up as long as they're putting it in treasuries, right, Joe? Well, anywhere we can so that the Fed doesn't have to buy $20 trillion in treasuries. We just want the Fed to buy $10 trillion in treasuries and see if we can kick it down the road, kick that can down the road another 5 years, 3 years, whatever that makes it. However long $10 trillion makes it work, right, Joe?
Well, I'm going to say this. Donald Trump, ADP numbers were out. Remember, 37,000. That was it. Private sector jobs created. Powell must now lower the rate. Well, actually, he said too late, Powell. So, Donald Trump loves to get nicknames. Jay Powell's new nickname, Too Late Jay, Too Late Powell, must now lower the rate. He is unbelievable. Europe has lowered 9 times. Guys, I want you to know something. He will lower rates, I promise. It's a promise. But not because of anything Donald Trump is saying. Because they're going to be forced to, which is the worst kind. Right? It's the worst kind. And this is going to be the sad part, because the longer they wait, the more people are going to go, oh, well, now they're doing it because they have to, right? It won't be a strength thing. It's going to be viewed as a very, very weak thing. And then yesterday, people started jumping on when will quantitative easing starts, and Adrian Day, the latest to weigh in, 90 days. 90 days. So think about it. So we're in June right now, early June, July, August, September. What happens in September September. Well, that's the end of fiscal year 2025. Now, we've got some things that are going to happen. The government will run out of money, in the next 4 weeks or so. We still don't have a budget. We haven't raised the debt ceiling. They want the big, beautiful bill. You know, at this point, I'm going to be honest with you, I want the big, beautiful bill. I do. But here's why it's not going to be as good as they want it to be. Most of the tax cuts, everyone's been enjoying those. So there's no benefit to extending them as far as that's not going to create anything else. All as it will do is keep people from having to pay more, right? But it doesn't add to the economy. When Donald Trump did those tax cuts the first time, that added, right? Because it lowered people's bills, lowered companies' bills. This time, we'll get the no tax on tips benefit, and we'll get the overtime, no tax on overtime benefit, but it's not the big benefit. 800-951-0592, Patriot Radio News Hour, Joe and Jason. $20 gold pieces, $35.75. Guys, that's a steal. That's a steal. Gold right now, $33.80, up 26. And again, $3,400. We're looking for a close above $3,400. It's going to be interesting to see what the jobless claims number are tomorrow. And then the government's jobs number on Friday. Again, ADP today, only 37,000 private sector jobs created. You would think would put the government number near zero, but I don't think it can be that low. I really don't. But tomorrow, if we see a jobless claims number above 240, and if it's above 250, then we may have $3,500 gold tomorrow. I don't know. We'll see. I have no idea what the number is going to be. Nobody does. But in any event, 800-951-0592. Continue to add. And I don't care if it's gold. I don't care if it's silver. You've got to get yourself significantly more diversified for what is coming. And it's simple. Jason, new money's coming. Digital money is coming. Probably faster than I thought. I apologize. I thought we would have more time. I really did. It's kind of shocking how many people now are just openly talking about the lack of confidence in bond market. And it's not just ours, right? The Japanese bond market's done, right? Remember France, we're going to be out of money, right? I mean, it's everywhere. And it's a debt money system. So this is how it's supposed to work. Believe it or not, it's actually working how it's supposed to. The question for everybody listening, what are you going to do to prepare? And is gold and silver the only salvation? No, there's other ways. I'm sure of it. I don't know them. I guess if you picked the right few stocks, you can do okay, right? And again, we know, listen, a lot of people get real rich during crashes, right? Unfortunately, how it really works is the rich just get richer. That's usually how it works. Obviously, with crypto, this is kind of a new way for people to make real wealth, right? That it hasn't been around that long. And yeah, okay, data centers, right? Everyone wants to track everything. The government, I don't know if you saw, they hired Plantier. Listen, Half Empty Cup, we're going to talk about it today on the Half Empty Cup. Government's gearing up to track everything. You probably missed it. You probably don't even know who they are. I do. When their CEOs got to go out and try to, oh, no, we're not going to do that. Yeah, they are, right? Then you know, oh, yeah. What are you going to do? Are you going to get ready? What are you going to leave that money sitting in the bank? You can. Listen, there's nothing wrong with leaving money sitting in the bank if you want to lose purchasing power. There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing. I mean, look at, we accept the fact that the central bank says we want 2% inflation every year. Now, of course, the way they track inflation is absolutely ridiculous, right? This is, you remember for a while they were trying to convince us that in school, that if they got the math or science question wrong, that was okay as long as they were showing the ability to do some form of thinking, right? Okay, it was 2 plus 2. I know you wrote 5. How did you get there? Well, I did this and this and blah, blah, blah. Oh, well, okay, well, we'll give you a C. 5 is wrong, right? 2 plus 2 is 4, right? You can't build bridges and buildings and ships and all this other stuff if you can't get the answer right.
Well, you can. You just build it wrong.
Right? Well, here's the funny part about how they do inflation. They used to track it the right way.
Yeah.
And then they said, well, gosh, let's just, come up with some really complex thing.
Well,
that everybody just...
The 70s scared a lot of people, didn't it?
Yeah, it did. It scared them so bad that they fooled you. Now, even their BS number can't be 2%. And that's a BS number. And I know, you're like, but Joe, wait a minute, the inflation reports have been getting better. It's done getting better. Wait till this spending bill gets done. It's coming. Wait till it happens.
Well,
if you want to leave your money in the bank and be able to buy a hell of a lot less, then I can't stop you. I mean, look at what's happening. If you haven't done it now, look at for the last 20 years. What have you been doing? Right? That money's sitting there. It's Jason. I don't. I'm worried. I'm worried. A lot of people are going to get cleaned out here. It's coming. It's
going to be good. It's going to be.
It's not going to be good.
Yeah, not good. It's going to be tremendous. What we're going to see up until COVID, which is where all that money printing really went crazy here recently. This century, if you look at the average year of money in the money supply, it's gone up 5% a year. And then if the Fed has their 2%, which, as Joe said, they recalculated it, it really is more than just double that. It's a little more than double that. Real inflation's been an average of 5% a year this entire century until COVID showed up. Now we got these ridiculous numbers that are way up there. So when we get that number next week, the year-over-year number, and it says it's 2.5%, it's more like 6 or 7. And that's just the calm before the storm, right, Joe? Because here comes the big, beautiful bill. Who knows what the Pentagon gets above that? I don't think the number that's in the bill is the real number, Joe.
A lot of money for defense. A lot of money. 800-951-0592. Patriot Radio News Hour. Joe and Jason on this Wednesday. $20 gold, $35.75. And essentially, we're on watch right now for new record high prices in gold. It looks as if quantitative easing is going to be here in the next 90 days. We'll see how it plays out. Donald Trump in a rage this morning as ADP job numbers came in well below expectations, hammering Jay Powell for rate cuts that unfortunately aren't coming until later. And that's going to be the problem, right? By the time they come, Jay Powell will probably live up to his nickname, Too Late Jay, when it comes to this, because the bond market needs help in a major way. Like I said, the Treasury, they like to not tell you anything. Now they're buying $10 billion worth. Where are they getting the money? Well, they got to borrow it, right? I mean, at least the Fed can print it up out of thin air, right? I mean, come on. It is borderline ridiculous, but new money is coming. I hope you're getting prepared. If you got big bucks in your IRAs, you got big money in your bank accounts, add more gold to your portfolio, period. For those of you that are looking for how can I grow some money, join us in TEXIT, the crypto mining that we've been talking about. It's a small gamble. And I say it's a gamble. It's a risk. There's investment. It could go to zero. We think this is a home run. Right? They say, hey, is this the second coming of Bitcoin? I don't know. I hope so. We like the strategy that's behind it. Right? We've talked about it so many times. One share, mining share, is $995. The most they'll let you buy is 9 shares. Why do they limit it? Because they don't want somebody to come in and buy all the shares. They control it all. They don't want BlackRock. They don't want Vanguard or one of these hedge funds to sit there and gobble it all up. They want, when it's done, they want a decentralized mining operation. And that could be hundreds of thousands of people getting coins every single day. You know, it's funny. You go out and you buy, I don't care if you buy gold, if you buy stock, if you buy bonds. You buy it, you hold it, and that's all you have until you sell it. Right? And then that's it. Not with this. You get coins every day. But what if I sold all my coins? So the next day, there's more coins in your account. Right? I mean, it really is interesting. A lot of people, well, I don't quite understand it. You know what? I don't quite understand it all either. But I know it's coming. How do you know? Well, look at what the government's doing. Right? Look at what the world is doing. Think about what they're saying. Gold is the best tier 1 asset of all tier 1 assets. I mean, that's what they're saying. Why? Because this fiat cycle is getting ready to end. Get on board. Take a chance at potentially making a life-changing amount of money. You know, if this thing hits and, you know, they're already saying, hey, it's going to be $16 by February. It's $1 right now. But what if this thing goes to $100, to $1,000? Could you imagine just I'm not even talking $100,000. right? How many of you would be upset, right, if you were getting, I don't know, by this time when the mine fills up, maybe you're getting 5, 10, 20 coins a day, and they're at $1,000 a pop. Yeah, sign me up, right? Obviously, there's a chance it could be worth nothing. We understand that. $9.95 is the cost of one share. You can buy as many as 9. That's $8,955. If you do so, you get 2 free shares. So it's like you bought 11 shares for the price of 9. If you buy 5 shares, they'll give you 1 for free. If you've already signed up and you want to sign up others, they'll give you more shares to do it. And you can call us here at Patriot. We'll do all the work for you. You tell us your user ID, have the person call with your user ID. We set them up for you. We collect the money for you. We pay TEXIT for you. It can't be easier. And then, guess what? We get to be your help desk. Hey, I got a problem. Call us, text us. We'll fix it for you. We'll do what we can, obviously. But this is something, Jason, I think people, don't be left behind. You are going to have to get out of your comfort zone and start learning how to work in this space, and we'll help you do it. We'll do it together. It's not like I knew how to operate in this space, but I've been learning. Patriot Radio News Hour, final segment. 800-951-0592. We are on watch here, $3,500. We've got 2 big reports coming tomorrow and Friday with jobless claims and then the government jobs number. On top of that, right, we got the big, beautiful bill. They're running out of time. They're running out of time. The trade war with China has gotten worse again. We'll see how that plays out. And then, of course, too late Jay, right? Jay Powell and the Fed and interest rates. Right? God, so many. We didn't talk about war. I mean, there's so many other things to talk about. $20 gold pieces, $35.75. Man, how soon to 4,000? I'm going to say this: a quantitative easing starts in 90 days. We may have gold 4,000 in 90 days. That's just the long and the short of it. It's coming one way or the other. It's just a matter of the timing of it. And then on the money you've already made, preserve more of it because you're going to need it. And then, hey, I need something. Could you imagine? Let's just say you're already retired, or maybe you're near retirement, and TEXIT coin does what we think it's going to do. How bad would it be if it was, I don't know, $20, $50, $100, and every day, depending on how much you start with and how much, if you have people under you, I mean, you may be getting 5 coins a day, you may be getting 10 coins a day, you may be getting 100 coins a day, 200 coins a day, and anything in between. But let's just say you're getting 10. Mine's full, you're getting 10 coins a day, it's $50. It's $500 a day. $500 a day. And after a year, it's a long-term capital gain, by the way. And after 1 year, it's 20%. That's what it is. That'd be like $15,000 a month. Boy, you think you could have a pretty good retirement with that? Yeah. Is it going to happen? Can we guarantee it? No. But that's the type of thing, Jason, when we're talking about TEXIT, those are the things. And those aren't, that's just a nice win, right? That's not Bitcoin win, right? I mean, my gosh, could you imagine, if the price was $10,000? I mean, then that number's off the charts, but there's potential here to really set yourself up because everything is going to cost so much more than what people think.
Yep, the inflation is taking a little dive down from the heights of a couple of years ago. It's still high, and you just have to look at the 1970s. It's like the ocean. You got the waves put you up and down, and inflation will do that. We got our wave going up, and the big beautiful bill, and selling at treasuries all over the world.
This is right. The government's been behaving because of the debt ceiling. They're getting ready to start misbehaving again. Yep. That's when the fun starts all over. Jason and I were coming right back